We back and we back. Zeus P, Tank Jew. Let the light in, man. It's the 2-hour lunch break, dog. I'm locked in. So turn your speakers up a notch and grab the white gin. And when I'm on the road to the office or the crib, it's Big Zeus, St. Jew, the ones I wanna hear. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J Late. Coming to you live, putting on for the city. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J Late.
And it's coming home to Texas. It's coming home all the way to Austin, Texas, baby.
All right, man, we are back with another edition of Season 5 of the 2-Hour Lunch Break Podcast, powered by Six Square ATX. We're a podcast for Austin, from Austin, brought to you around the world. We're back at home base, East Austin, Texas. I'm Trotwood Zeus, one half of the 2-Hour Lunch Break Podcast, and I got my co-host.
Saint, what up?
And today we got a very special guest joining us for the season finale of Season 5.
Yes.
He's one of the most influential voices coming out of Austin's hip-hop scene, an artist whose raw lyrical talent and hustle have taken him from local shows to major stages all around the country. You've seen him rock crowds to ACL. You've seen him rock crowds at South by Southwest. And he just wrapped up touring with legends like GZA, Inspector Deck, and Conway the Machine. He's got a brand new album, From the Soul 2, dropping soon, and we're about to get into everything behind the project.
Yes,
Plus, you might have heard his music on Brian Simpson's Netflix special, Live from the Mothership.
Yes,
This man is all about pushing boundaries, representing Austin, and keeping it 100. So without further ado, let's give a warm welcome to the one and only J Soulja. How you doing today, bro?
Yeah, what it do, man. Shout out to the motherfucking 2-Hour Lunch Break Pod with the beautiful fucking intro, man. Yeah, man, what it do, fellas? How y'all living?
Man, we doing well, man. Thank you so much for taking the time to pull up on us and chat, bro.
Absolutely, man. Got to, man. Y'all the ones.
Man. As he says, it's finna be one of them ones.
Right.
So let's get right into it. Let's talk about the album. Let's get right into it.
Yeah.
How does this album reflect your growth as a person and as an artist? I know we were talking offline about all the things that, you know, you've poured into throughout the duration and even in your introduction, right? What you've done for the city. How does that feel for you now, focusing on yourself?
Yeah, you know, right now it's just a great time for me mentally and spiritually. Like, you know, this is you know, I'm going into my 30s now. You know what I'm saying? And coming off of the, you know, runs that I've been doing with the Smokeout platform and the Pre-Roll platform, this album has been something that I've been making in the process of me building things culturally for Austin. So like this album is probably 4 or 5 years into the making. You know what I mean? If you can put it in the context, we just had our 6-year anniversary for the Smokeout, June the 2nd of this year. So I mean, you know, like these things, like with this album and how I've approached it and how I've grown, man, you know, it's a lot. You know, they say, you know, things can happen in 10 years, but 5 years is even crazy.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right,
You talk about people, you know, if you go into business, they ask you, what's your 5-year plan? You know, and, you know, in life, man, it's just so, you know, I've been a person who's grown and been through a ton of things as a man, had my, you know, my character tested with, you know, the death of my son, you know, have had incredible heights with, you know, like Zeus mentioned with ACL, even, you know, getting my endorsement deal with Swisher Sweets. You know, I've done things that artists have never done, and I've done things as a man and as a father and as a person that a lot of people might not endure in their lifetime. So, you know, I feel like I've just been able to grow and apply these things that I've been able to mature through life, you know, through this album, which is why I have been sitting on it for so long, especially in like an era where people are like, yo, we want the music now, drop a single, you know, we need this shit every motherfucking, you know, it's like, I just care so much about my shit. I care so much about what I'm going to say.
Right.
And you know, I want to make sure that when I put the product out, that it has an impact, you know, with my peers, and they have an experience that is like a one of one, you know what I'm saying? And you know, I just want people to listen to this shit and know that, you know, I care about what I'm putting out, and I care about what you're digesting as a listener. You know what I'm saying? For sure.
Okay, so question for you. So I know prior to the interview, we got a chance to get a sneak peek.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
So got a chance to like do a deep dive
Thank
into
you
it
for
and
that.
everything.
Thank
Right.
you for that.
Yeah.
And right. Yeah. Appreciate that. And one thing I noticed, a lot of the project you like really digging into like your personal stories, your character, your inspirations, all that kind of stuff. So for the people that don't know, or like your new fans, your new listeners, right, that are going to be walking into this project brand new, right? What kind of themes and stories are like you trying to convey with this project?
Yeah, I mean, so I think for a new listener, I'll start with the sound. Like this is a Southern soul hip hop album. You know what I mean? And what I mean by Southern soul, I mean it samples the chops in here, the gospel from just the lyricism and the way that I grown through those roots of my musical past, you know what I mean, is the sound is gonna be very soulful, you know what I mean, it's from the soul, you know what I mean, so we emphasize on just the overall vibrations, the feel of this record. I want people to have a very home hospitable experience with listening to this shit. Like damn, like this shit takes me back to a comfort. I feel comfortable with this shit. It doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel, those boundaries are within the lanes of the South, you know what I'm saying? And then, just as far as just like what I'm saying and what I'm putting into the project, this is for a new listener, like this is a hip hop album. It is, lyricism. It is, it's all of that. Like the stories that I get into is, very personal to me as far as just like my perspectives on love, my perspectives on death. It's a ton of death. Of course I touched on, the death of my son and just how that affected me. I got records like Blessed, which was a record that I made. My son died May 19th, 2020, and my son's death was just really like it was something that was so symbolic and just like opening my eyes and making me understand how much like our time here matters. You know what I mean? Like, it sounds cliche, but it's like, what could we really trip on when you've been able to live on the other side of your maximum? Like you think like, damn, nigga, I don't know what would happen if this happened. And then this thing happens and you see that you still have another day to live, like the world don't stop for you, in that moment, so it's just like these records and these meanings, even just my moral compass, how I see, my daughter, how I see the world, prospectively. Like I just dig into just a lot of different things and just want people to just understand that it's genuine perspectives out here. It's not somebody out here that's, making the material and wanting to point you into what the status quo wants you to have. It's like, yo, niggas talking about doing drills and killing niggas. I'm gonna talk about what it feel like to live. Niggas is talking about, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just flipping the perspective and also making it dope, making it digestible, making this shit like who want to talk about positivity, in the light, doing player shit, like my main thing is just emphasizing like God is alive. This album has God in it. God has blessed me, and I think that's one of the main things I want, going back to your question, like what a listener, for a new listener, is like, yo, God is real because you can hear him in this album. How I can speak about God, my relationship with God, that matters, and how do I talk about this thing that's taboo in music, especially in hip hop, and make it attractive, and I do that by just being human. I don't try to do that by being a Christian rapper. I try to do that just by being human, so I'm a cuss about God. I'm a trip, but this is my relationship with God, and I have to keep it authentic musically and sonically, so that way when the listener listens to it, you get to digest my message and digest the material, and you don't have to deviate from feeling like, hey man, like this ain't, you know, this too preachy for me, you know, this too, you know. So I feel like I do a good job of just giving folks an even balance of that Southern soul gospel sound with them genuine hip hop, rap, storytelling, just all in there. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely all in there.
There we go.
It seems like to me you give focus on the creative process as being just authentic as you possibly can with your whole life, with your whole soul, whatever that may be, right?
Right.
How do you balance that authenticity with the innovation of rapping and trying to keep the listener engaged, right?
Yeah.
How do you go about that?
Well, you know, like it starts with the sound first, and that's why, you know, even going back to Zeus's question, you know, for the listener is like, I want this shit to jam.
Yeah.
Like shout out to my big homie Al D, my homie Al D. He signed a little Kiki, man, and me and him like rap. Like we talk all the time. Like he's somebody I get on the phone with. We talk for hours. And like one of the main things that he tells me, you know, little Kiki tells him a lot is like, hey, bro, if it's Texas music, number one, like it's rules to this shit. The number one rule is that shit gotta jam first. like it gotta jam. Like everything after it jamming is pretty much icing on the cake. So it's like my beat selection, what I'm like all of that shit matters to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I want this shit to jam. If I can get you to play it all the way through, I know for a fact, like the listener today, what they're going to take from that is that I can listen to this.
Right.
So when you playing it back again, you get to being like, not only is this shit jam, that nigga talking about some shit. Like not only he talking about some shit, like that nigga got bars. Like this is what that nigga said. Like so it's a multi-layered thing. In you know that's why an album is such a hard thing to make because it's like when you divulge a section of your life to the audience and you put a lot of your time, you sacrifice space from people, you sacrifice so much shit into this project. Sometimes moments pass, you know, people's attention span change. What the trend is when you first made this song changes up if you sitting on that shit for 2 years. So it's like, what are you talking about? What are you saying? What is this shit lasting? You know what I mean? Like for Life Forever Entertainment, like I live by that shit. Like what you do today determines your tomorrow. How do you want to be remembered? Like my goal is to make long lasting impact with this shit. I don't want to make material that isn't gonna stand the course of time, which is why I can have records that I made 4 years ago still have a relevancy today, you know, like because it is about what you talking about. It is about what that shit jamming like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, when I'm just sticking to those things, you know, in my creative process, like I think great results come from that in my realm of perspective.
No, for sure.
Yeah. So I know, you know, we're talking about the creative process, right? So what did the creative process like look like for you? Because I know you had said that it took you a while, like, you know, you had been grinding like to get this album out. Like, was it like a steady thing? Like I'm gonna get in the studio a couple times a week until this album is done, or was it like sporadic? Like, you know, you kind of sat down for like a month and like, you know, after that you got in the studio real hard. Like what did that look like?
Yeah, what's funny is it was just a gradual thing, man. Some of these records, like Made, that's a record I made maybe in like literally like 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like 10, 15 minutes, like literally the beat come on.
Yeah.
So those type of records, a lot of these records on this album are records that it's a feeling, bro. You know what I mean? So like when I'm feeling that, I'm like, ooh, this should feel different than these records that I might have made in the month or made within the year. Like this shit got this feeling in it, you know? So I was like, man, let me get a collective of these things that make me feel this frequency that I feel like I'm tapping into. You know what I mean? Whether it's, you know, oh, that shit give me the chills, or hey, this shit make me emotionally, or whatever, you know what I mean? Like I know those feelings, you know what I mean? So when it came down to like putting out records now, you know, I just did the Untitled releases that I was doing. I put out like a brand new record, you know, every fucking week. You know what I'm saying? I drop like just 3 records, just boom, every week. And you know, those are records that I made in preparation of this album. And it's like, I make records just like this. Like when I'm in the mood to make music, I do that shit in, like I'm a volume shooter. Like I get in there and I knock that shit out, you know. But it's like when I know that I got those records get tucked to the side. And you know, when I feel like I got a collective of those songs as a feeling, like what's funny, my last album that I dropped, More Than Nothing, was the album that I put out probably like my last full-length studio album. So this is a record that I was performing a lot during my ACL era, you know what I'm saying? And More Than Nothing, that album was listed as a top 100 best album in Austin the year that it came out. But that whole album is throwaway records for this album. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, you know, to think about like to put it in the capacity, bro, like it's like hundreds of records get made, you know, and I'm kind of A&R and I'm, you know, picking and choosing, you know, just kind of just being strategic about these feelings that I want people to interact with whenever they hear the record.
Gotcha.
When we talked offline, I was telling you, you know, full transparency. This is how I like. This is what I felt about the album, and I told you I enjoyed it.
Thank you,
right. My first listen, like I said, you know, Breadwinner, I thought it was a great intro. Right, because I feel like everybody can relate to that.
Yeah,
right?
facts. We parents, especially.
Yeah, right. Facts.
You feel me? We didn't have it in the house.
Right. I gotta come up with it.
Yeah.
I gotta come up with it some way. But I felt like so much information and so much knowledge on this album has been given to us. What's one song that resonates with you that you say, I mean, to me, Under the Sun was definitely, it hit me. Yeah. I was like, I was driving in the car and I had to pull over to the side and I was like, my man, his life, yo.
Yeah.
And that it was serious. So what song does that for you?
Honestly, man, I'm gonna have to say it's a record called Spill.
Okay.
Spill, man, is a man, that joint, shout out to my homegirl Kat. That record right there is like a real, like, it has that feeling, bro. That shit make me cry. You know what I'm saying? Make me, you know, just the feeling. Like my boy Young Swisher, man, Swisher Beats, man, he just does an amazing job. He probably produced half the records on the album. He also produced Blessed. And you know, like that record right there, bro, it just, I had my mother doing an outro at the end of that record. And that was a voice note that she left me literally when I was having a day where, like, you know, like I felt like I even hate regurgitating that shit, bro. Like suicidal, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so like the emotions that my mom has at the end of that voice note is real. Like a real, you know, like it was crazy, like asking my parents, even asking some of my family members, like to send voice notes through, like for the album. Like I was like, hey man, I need something for the album. So that was interesting. Her first voice note that she sent wasn't one that made the album. And it was crazy for me to go through, like that's how authentic this shit is. Like go through a bad day and you send me that, and yo, that is what I need. Right. You know, that is something that I needed, not only for me, because I needed it, but I feel like if I put this in this album, not only as a ingredient, it's also something that's gonna be needed for somebody else, you know, because the topic of Spill is about, hey man, how you feeling? Or sister, how you feeling? You know, like, let's, like, if you don't have nobody to talk about, we can talk, you know what I mean? And if you apprehensive in talking, you know, here is why you could be apprehensive. Where are you, first off, what you praying for? What you thinking about? You know what I'm saying? Like I asked that in the song. Like I start with questions like, my nigga, what you praying for? Or my sister, have you tried to find yourself within? Like these are questions that you, like, have you looked there first before you know, you consider these things that, you know, that you may feel, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, Spill is a record, man. I play that shit, bro. Like, it's just emotionally, you know what I mean? It tapped me into a feeling. It let me know, like, that's some records you let you know, hey, God real. You know what I'm saying? God real, bro. And, you know, it give me chills every time when I hear that record, man. It's one of my most, like like my heartfelt records for sure.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so as long as I've been aware of like you and your music and everything like that, I know you've done like a lot of collaborations.
Yeah.
Right. But one thing I noticed, I know when we got the sneak peek, I didn't hear as much of that.
Yeah.
This go around.
Maybe like 2
right?
or 3, right?
Yeah. I didn't hear a
Yeah.
lot of that in comparison to what I'm used to.
Yeah.
Was that intentional?
To a degree. So my last album, More Than Nothing, the one that I mentioned to you guys, was the first album that I dropped and had no features. You know, so it was like going back to that. It was like, man, I want to do it, no features. But I think with me in song making, I'm very like I'm into the ingredients, and there are certain ingredients that I need to get this picture made. You know what I mean? Like you know, so having a feature is, you know, like Cat being on, like I needed something soft on the like a voice. Like I needed a soft vibration on this record. So having her on a record like Spill, where she can bring some feminine essence to that record and really kind of like it's almost like the mother who nurtures somebody. You know what I mean? Like having her in the back vocals of that. You know, somebody like Y2, who is such an instrument musically and vocally, like one of the only few artists that like in rap, nigga, like, you know, you get to these pinnacles of this shit where you feel like it ain't no fucking idols. Like you feel like you can go with the best of them. And Y2 is like literally like one of the very few niggas that's like, hey man, that nigga is
He's different.
He's different. He's from a different cloth, you know.
There we go.
And you know, it's an honor to be able to work with a nigga like him. You know, somebody who's written for the likes of YG, the likes of Chris Brown, Rihanna, you know, from Austin, bro. Like this nigga has been in the rooms with some of the biggest stars, Nipsey, you know, getting features with these guys, getting, you know, and him saying, hey, Soulja, you one of them ones. You feel me? Like, you know, like it's a blessing, bro. You know what I mean? So some of these people is not only is it like honorable to work with them, it's also like, man, we get in the studio and we know each other's greatest ingredients and we know how to go in that bitch and make what the fuck we want to make to feed to the people. I gotta shout out my boy Kush with a C too. Kush with a C is the only person that's on the album that got 2 features. You feel me? Okay. And he also produced Soul Bounce, and you know, he's a guy that is just a Swiss Army knife. You know, Y2, Swiss Army knife. These are guys that are multi-dimensional musically. You know, they do so many different things, and you know, it's just it's a blessing to be able to work with those guys. So like, it's like this go around feature wise, like my selection of features was just like people who I like, yo, I love these people. Like these are people who I totally like. If this is the thing that's gonna make me go, I want to go with them niggas. You know what I'm saying? You know, and there's other artists for shit show. Like, don't get it twisted, you know. But these my folks, you know what I mean? And they've been a part of my tribe for a while, for sure.
You talked about people being a part of your journey. Let's focus on the recent tour that you just had, right? I mean, let's creativity. If we talking about Jizza, Inspector Deck, Zero, Conway the Machine, like just hitters, right?
Yeah.
How does that help your creative process? And when you're like, yo, I'm watching this dude do this, I'm watching this do. Okay, does this help my stage presence? Like, how do you look at that when you in the space?
I look at it knowing what I'm bringing to the table, bro. Like, you know, I kind of got the upper hand being a guy who has serviced the music industry in Austin here. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm seeing, man, bro, I'ma just say it, bro. Like, niggas is not fucking with me. You feel me? I'ma just be honest. I don't want to even, niggas is not fucking with me, bro. So it's like, I know when I'm getting on stage, I'm finna do something that is gonna put a sting in the room. Right. You know what I mean? Because it's like, nigga, I believe that I've been called to do this shit. So it's like, when I'm seeing the talent level, I'm seeing what my peers are emphasizing on to get their point across to sell their product. You know, you're building your foundation on things that aren't what I build my shit on. You know what I mean? Like, you getting on stage and you want to wear a necklace, chain, and be fly, and which is cool, you know. But that doesn't sell the music. You know, you have to be an entertainer. You know, I've been able to be on stage and be the host for one of the most popping hip hop events here in the city. So it's like where me as an artist, I was okay with that as a rapper because I'm on stage freestyling to a degree. I'm literally like, that was rap to me. Like, nigga, I'm on stage every night whenever I fucking want to. And I'm on stage longer than the rappers. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
my shit.
But this is my shit. This is, but the key to it is, how can you entertain? How do you entertain? Because that is the first level to this shit. You know, when it comes down to being on tour, like touring is an investment, nigga. Like, that shit wasn't cheap to do. You feel me? Like that wasn't like, hey, you on tour, bro. Everything paid for, nigga. No, nigga, it was not like that. Like, I had to pay for the plane ticket. I have to pay for, you know, the room and all of that other shit. You know what I mean? So it's like, how do I make this a ROI? You know, when you're an artist and you're cognizant of the business, how do I make a tour as an independent artist a ROI? You have to know what kind of product that you're going out there with. So if I'm going out there with a guy like Conway, right? And let's say I was performing, like I got 0 this week. You thinking that me as an independent artist, you think my set list gonna be the same for Conway as it is for 0? No, that's number one. Not at all. I'm finna change my entire set list. But that's the rule number one. It's a psychological thing that artists, I already know that my peers aren't even looking at that. Y'all finna go out there and do what y'all think is the best thing in y'all's catalog, which is probably not as deep as mine, and y'all finna just perform what you feel like is your best shit. When it's like, nah, nigga, like, we moving product in this bitch. This is a product space. When you creating with your homies, that's art. But when we putting this out, we finna share this, this is product, nigga. So you gotta know that when you on tour, you're in their store, bro. So what are you like you can't come in here asking for an egg roll and it's a burger spot, nigga. You feel me? Like, you can't do that. So it's like, nigga, I'm finna go in that hole and get these niggas burgers, nigga. You feel me? And then when it's time to go in there and do that egg roll shit, I got some of that shit too. Or some pizzas. I got whatever flavors y'all need. But it's first being cognizant of what is the product you coming out there with. And I'm knowing like, hey man, I got product. That's number one. And I'm knowing that number two, man, I'm an entertainer. I'm gonna entertain you. You gonna fuck with me. I'm gonna make sure that I'm cognizant of you psychologically. I'm cognizant of your energy, you know, because I'm a person that maneuvers energy as a host. So it's like being in that space as an artist and knowing that, oh man, this is the best. Like, the cheat code is knowing who you opening for. If I'm opening for Wu-Tang, man, I'm finna bring that straight bars. I'm finna bring them bars over here. That's what these niggas want to hear. They not ready to hear Blessed at the Wu-Tang show. They not ready to hear, you know what I'm saying? Even
like, that's cool. But
that's cool. But for here, you feel me? And that's the thing about catalog. That's why, you know, when you know your product, you aware of what you have, you can bring certain ingredients, you know, certain flavors to the table, you know, and get people to engage. So I was always like, man, come on, bro, I'm finna go out here and fucking dominate, nigga, just cause I know that nobody ain't heard no shit like me, you know? So, and I don't mean to come off like egotistical about that shit, but it's just somebody who's, you know, I'm cognizant of what I'm bringing to the table.
I think it's a different energy when people can see and know and understand what your track record is, right?
Respect.
When you've done all these pre-rolls, right? You've done the smoke outs, year back to back, giving people your energy, your love, your passion, and trying to showcase for the city of Austin, hey, we got more people out here that's doing their thing, that's helping out. So when you quantify looking from the outside looking in, and also from the inside looking out, right? Because as an artist perspective, you're like, okay, as an artist, I probably wouldn't have done that. I may have changed that up a little bit. Might have flipped that bar, or even like right here, I would have told the DJ, cut the beat, we skipping, or I'm gonna freestyle this thing out, and so they feel the energy, feel the love, right? I think that's where you're coming from, and that's a beautiful place, because now you know, okay, when the crowd reacts like this, I need to switch something up. When the crowd is fit, I need to go in a little bit more, right? So I just think you're where you're coming from is right on target. It's
Appreciate
right on
that,
track.
bro.
So shout out to you, brother.
Definitely,
For
I
real,
appreciate that, bro, for real.
So I know, kind of piggybacking off of talking about touring and everything like
Yeah.
that, right? So I'm sure tours of that magnitude, it has like a lot of like memorable creative moments and stories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is there any one moment like during that time that like sticks out for you where you might have made like a creative connection or like somebody dropped some knowledge on you or something like that? Like talk about that.
Yeah, I get 2 times.
Yeah.
One time, and I'll be brief about it. One time, so the start of the tour was with the Wu-Tang, Inspector Deck,
Okay.
and the Jizza. I had just got done with my set, went crazy. I say probably about 10, 15 minutes later, the promoter who produced the event came and got me. Got Jamal, shout out Jamal, my manager, pulled us to the green room. I was like, yo, man, get you in here to meet Inspector Deck.
Yeah.
Go in there, I'm like, bet, So I go in there, see, bro, you feel me? And the first thing that he says was like, well, I introduced hey, what's good, bro? I'm J Soulja. You know what I'm saying? First thing he said, you J Soulja. I was listening to you. And he was like, all them guys, I don't remember none of them. I remember you. You know what I'm saying? So, like, what? What? You know what I'm saying? Like what? You feel me? So, like, just to get that cosign, and there wasn't no internet shit. I ain't pull the phone out like, hey, nigga, can you repeat that? Like, nah, it was just like, hey, nigga, it's respect.
Yeah.
You feel me? Hey, I respect you, and then to get respect like that from nigga the Woo, Inspector Deck, nigga, that nigga good homies with one of my the Method.
Right.
What?
Right.
What are we? What? Come on, bro. So it's like him, growing up listening to these guys, and being inspired via the culture, that was amazing. And I think my other dope memory was going to Florida and being in Florida, a place I ain't never been in. You know what I'm saying? And this is why some of the feeling come with the feeling.
Yeah.
You gotta think like, man, I'm coming from Austin, bro. People know me. People grew up with me out here. You go to Florida, bro, nobody fucking know you. These niggas walking past you like, I don't know you, bro. Like, okay, yeah, that's what's up. We out here for sound check.
Right.
Yeah,
Good-
we
good
open
chat.
this too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, just type shit. You feel me?
Yeah.
I do my first sound check, and the entire energy in the fucking room
Shifts.
that let me know, like, oh, we here to kill.
Yeah.
Like, they ain't never seen no shit like this. Like, they really like, even just like how I was embraced in Florida, bro. Like, nigga was embraced out there. Like, it was like, yo, man, like, we fuck with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit you did, bro. Like just having people being like, nigga, like, you were my favorite. Like, who are you?
Yeah,
like where, like, you stay out here? Like, no, nigga.
He said, I gotta
I'm
go.
going back to Austin.
Right.
Like just to, because I had a goal, bro. I went out there with no merch. I ain't go out there with nothing to give me a financial gain other than I need one new follower. Every second I'm on stage. So I had a slight goal of just like, yo, let me leave out this bitch with 20 followers a city. That's my bottom line goal. I need 20 new followers every city. You know what I'm saying? Because my goal is, I'm off the 1,000 fan theory. You feel me? 1,000 fan theory states that creators will be able to maintain and live a decent lifestyle with only 1,000 fans and be able to maneuver within the price range of $35 to $100 to worth the product to these 1,000 fans. So it's like, my goal that I've always been great at, clearly because of building the smoke out in the pre-roll, is building a community around product. This album is something that I want to build community around. You know what I mean? And, so it's like, those followers, y'all don't even know. Like, y'all are a part of my community now. Yeah.
Welcome.
I welcome.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Right,
Like, that's like a subscription to me.
Right.
Because I think a lot of artists do make a mistake, especially independent, by preparing up until the release and not preparing for the back end of the release. And that's something that, Zeus was like, hey, bro, when the album dropping? And I was like, You know, but but I want to be prepared for the back end of the release if I'm that confident in the product.
Right.
You know, what if I put this out? Like, fuck what if? Like, I'm dropping this shit and I feel like it's gonna be impactful. And I want to make sure that I have my affairs in order for the longevity of the product. You know, like preparing for the back end of the release is nothing but adding shelf life to the product. And I feel like a lot of artists don't invest in shelf life. They invest into the next moment. And it keeps you from really honing in on how much you sacrifice to make that first thing when you're on to the next thing so quickly. You know what I mean? Like in the industry, like they'll tell you, my nigga, like back catalog is probably the most profitable over like current catalog. Like for big artists, like my nigga, like you put a new record out and that shit not jamming, I'm finna go back and jam your old shit. You know what I'm saying? You die, I'm jamming your old shit. You know what I'm saying? Something happens where you fall off or you flop or you're nothing, nigga, I shelf you as a label. Your old shit is what makes me money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why am I moving away from this product so quickly? You know, I dropped More Than Nothing, which was the last studio album that I mentioned to you guys. And bro, I still perform records off of that. I still perform a record called Boomin' that Jamal made like when my son was alive. You know what I'm saying? Like these are old records that are just timeless vibes.
Right.
You know, and it's like when you got that, like you got that shit. You know what I mean? And that's just something I always want to stand on for sure.
That's what's up. Yeah. When you talk about timeless vibes, I think because this album, you know, I think you opening up personally. You opening up a page to your life that I think nobody else has ever seen. Right. Yeah. What's that song you talked about? Spill that always hits your heart. That's something important. What's that song on the album that's gonna be timeless? For me, I feel like it's gonna be Soul Bounce.
Soul Bounce.
I feel like it's gonna be Soul Bounce.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Like I like Soul Bounce too, man. Soul Bounce is definitely, it has those elements. You know, it has the right ingredients. You know, who is this for? This for the hoes. This for the fillers. This like that's forever. Like writing songs is tactical. You know, and it's like these are things that I like. Yo, like who is this for? When you pinpoint that and somebody can find a soundtrack that was made for them, you know, hey, this for the fillers, this for the hoes, this for the niggas, you know, like shit, that's I can relate to that. Like so it's immediately relating from there and then getting into my personal story, I can understand that. But for me, I think if I would have a timeless record on the album, man, Passion is a record that's Passion was a record that commercially that is the record that was picked up for the Jason Tatum and the Soul 5 bank commercial. So that's Passion. So you got to hear the full song there. Right. So it's like even records like that get sync placements, like Prestige, bro, like I was never gonna fucking put that song out, bro. Like that song was never gonna see the light of day. Wow. You know, so it's like these records that I feel like are of like that stand this test of time, bro. Like you just never know that could stand your time. Right. You feel me? Right. So it's like having them flavors, bro. Like where, hey, bro, any of this shit can go. But I think Passion is a good one. Clarity is a good one. You know what I'm saying? I feel like can just have that time, you know what I mean? And man, what's another one? I
think Made is a good one.
Facts. I like Made too. Man, them bitch. Hey, look,
I'm gonna tell you, bro.
If niggas say more than 4-5 songs, nigga,
that's a quality.
That gotta be quality in today's days, goddamn. You know what I'm saying? Because
we done gave up at least 6.
You feel me?
Right.
Come on, and I'm thankful for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because niggas be dropping some bullshit. So if a nigga say he like 6 songs on my shit, hey nigga, we take that. You feel me? So it's like for me, bro, like. My personal favorite song on the album is Flavor. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my like that, Texas, and it's also the newest song that I made.
Texas got
so it's like that song right there, bro. It's just, you know, it gives me them elements that I like, bro. Like if I was to make a Texas song, like that was of the ilk of me, you know, of course, and just like what I was influenced by, you know, without biting them niggas, that's flavor. You feel me? Like unapologetically Southern Texas vibes, you know, like, hey, this the South, nigga. This is what this shit feel like. So yeah, man, like, you know, it's a lot of, I feel like just overall, man, I think it could definitely be able to be listened to years from today, 100%.
We were talking about, you know, previous songs you've done, and I know one song that stuck out for me was Prestige, right?
Yeah.
And it stuck out for me because that ended up on the Netflix comedy special,
Yeah,
right? Brian
yeah.
Simpson, Live from the Mothership, right?
Yeah.
So man, talk about that. Like, how did that collaboration even happen?
God, bro.
Okay.
Amen.
Literally, bro. God,
Amen.
bro. I'm getting done with the pre-roll. And what's funny is I just saw Brian Simpson because the pre-roll was made during the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? So we're fresh off of the pandemic, you feel me? People still kind of acquiesce in the outdoors and stuff like that. And during the pandemic, I was watching hella like stand-up comedy, and Brian was a comedian that was like, that nigga is funny.
Right, yeah.
So what's crazy is, fast forward maybe like a couple months later, and I even watched it with Napalm. A couple months later, we doing the pre-roll. I walk out of the pre-roll, and Moon Tower Comedy Festival is in town. I walk outside, and there's Brian Simpson, and I say, Napalm, that's bro that I just showed you. We just got done. He's literally right next to Flamingo at the burger joint.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. And I walk up to him. I don't normally do that, but I was a little faded. You know what I'm saying? But I walked up. You know, I got this thing with celebrities or people that I see. Like, I be like, y'all niggas, people do this to y'all all the time.
Yeah.
I'm not even finna fuck with you. As much as I want to say hello, I'm not gonna fuck with you. But I was faded a little bit. So I was like, I'm finna go talk to this nigga because I just got done watching you and you a funny guy. You know, so I walk up to him like, bro, man, my nigga, I just seen you on Netflix, bro. Like, I fuck with you, my nigga. Like, or I just seen you on Comedy Central. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, I fuck with you, bro. Like, your shit fire, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, I was just watching you with my bro. And he was like, man, respect, bro. What y'all doing out here? I was like, man, we just got done with a show. And I say, hey, bro, I know people, you know, you just having a real genuine exchange.
Yeah.
And then before he dipped, I was like, man, bro, I do music, bro. I'm gonna just keep it real with you, fam. I don't do none of that fake shit, fluff shit, bro. Check out my material. If you fuck with it, man, holla at me, let me know, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, just give it a genuine listen. He said, bro, I'm gonna give it a genuine listen because it was just, we had a good dialogue, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I still have the voice note to this day. He got in his Uber and sent me a voice note shortly after, was like, bro, your fucking music is amazing. Like, don't be a stranger. I'm officially a fan. From that point on, me and him would just be in the loop. You know what I'm saying? We tap in, and he told me probably about, I say, maybe about a year and a half ago, he got his first opportunity to, he got a deal with Netflix. He was like, yo, I got my first comedy special deal.
Yeah.
I want to use one of your records. And originally, Made was the record that he wanted to use.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, bet. So we locked in with Made. But me and Brian have developed a relationship to the point where it's like, I'll send him records. So I had a mixtape or EP that I had in the tuck, which was motherfucking not this ain't shit. I had my nigga Mike Tyson on the cover of that shit. Bro, I be
I remember that one.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
yeah,
Okay.
Hell yeah.
If I can remember the name.
If
If I can remember the name of that motherfucker right now, it's just slipping my name. I should be better at that. But what's funny is I sent him that EP first. He had that shit before anybody, and Prestige was on there. I was like, yo, I'm finna send you a collective of records that I think you would fuck with. You know what I mean? And Prestige was when he was like, bro, what the fuck is this shit? I was like, man, that's just some shit. I'm just sending you. That's just some rap.
Look, go back to Made.
Yeah, Made, nigga. Like, but even with Prestige, though, Prestige was a record I made instant. Like heard the beat, feel, lyrics came to me. You know what I'm saying? But he was like, yo, that's the one I need for the special. Okay. And I was literally like, bro, you sure Made? Because Mom made. Yeah. Mom, that's my brother, you know? So it's like, Made is really, nigga, that can give it that feel. But he was adamant on Prestige. And you know, I'm just so glad he selected it. Shout out my brother Arza, man. Arza out of Phoenix, man. And one of the good homies of Watu who actually produced Prestige, man. You know, Brian filmed the special in Austin. Man, he's such a fucking fire ass dude, bro. Like just as a person, bro. Like the nigga, like he gave me, bro, like he was like, bro, you have lifetime access to the mothership anytime you want to. Like you can come in on my name and VIP in this bitch. And I was like, what, nigga? So and what's funny is like niggas will say that shit and don't hold word bond to that shit. Like nigga, I done got to go to the mothership with Napalm. My sister and her husband got to go to the mothership. You feel me? I ain't even had to be there. You feel me? I was like, hey, you know, is it cool if my sister go take my place? Give me their names in there. You feel me? Like, so my sister actually got to see the special live. So she got to see it before, you know what I'm saying? Before the whole thing. And, you know, it was like just, you know, in like, bro, what's even more players, like the business, bro, like he paid me personally, then his company paid me. So to get paid twice, like, you know, the nigga's just a stand-up guy, bro. And, you know, I'm grateful that, you know, that we crossed paths and he totally, like, that was like, bro, like that nigga, that shit right there, bro, like I got to like watch my streaming, you know, like when that shit premiered, bro, like, whoa, what? I'm like, damn, nigga got, bro, having 10,000 Shazams for me was crazy. You telling me 10,000 niggas listened to this shit and said, hey, who the fuck is this? I have to pull my phone out and figure out what song is this. That matters. 10,000 niggas? I know, like that, like Shazams count for me because it's like, that takes effort to figure it out. If I want to know what this song is, I have to pull out this app, put the mechanism to the fucking sound, and figure out work. This, do it again. Who is this? 10,000, bro. Yeah, bro. Like in like a week of the premiere was, you know, so. Yeah, man, that was just like, that's my first time I ever got to really tell that story, like literally, you know, ever. So I'm glad I got to do it here with y'all for sure.
2 hour lunch break exclusive.
Facts. Big shout out to the 2 hour lunch break pod, on God.
Man, it sounds like to me that, of course, God is ordering your steps. It sounds like that's self-evident. But how do you decide on what projects you work on outside of music? I know we've talked about the pre-roll. We talked about working with ACL and other entities and building your profile. What makes you say this is let's do this?
My bandwidth. You know, what kind of things do I have on my plate at the current time?
Gotcha.
Is it something that I can relate to? Can I advocate for it? You know what I mean? Is it something that I feel like can be a commodity to the people? You know, I think that's something that, like, I think those three things really matter the most. You know, production takes a lot of bandwidth. You know, especially for the type of productions that I was doing, working directly with artists. Artists are some of the most egotistical beings ever, and I'm one of them. You know, so it's like, you know, imagine having to take your ego and cut it off when you know that you're an artist, you know what you bring to the table, but I'm going to, you feel me? That shit take a lot.
They do.
It take even more when you facing motherfuckers that feel entitled. You facing motherfuckers that feel ungrateful. You facing people that feel like you owe them, when it's like, boy, I did so much off the strength. You feel me? That's why I say on Breadwinner, bring something to the plate. There's no debate how much I done fed niggas. Like, so that matters. Like, what are we, you know, like, are we equally yoked? Are we, you know, all of those things matter. You know what I mean? And I think for me is you know, having to work through juggling so many different styles of art, you know, like production, you know, it's a creative art form in my opinion, you know, and that shit was just like, hi, bro. Like I'm ready to like get back into serving me, you know, because I know that all of this hard work and this sacrificing and the nights, like motherfuckers don't know what I went through to do the smoke out, bro. Like niggas don't know, like, bro, nigga, my son died May 19th. I threw the first smoke out June 2nd. You know what I mean? Like no time. You feel me? Like no time, bro. You know, like nigga, I was a janitor, gang. Right. Like, nigga, I'm cleaning the building at ACC, bro. You feel me? Like, for a nigga to tell me anything, you know, about it's. I've been at the bottom of the totem pole. I've seen the heights of the totem pole. So it's like, man, I'm, you know, this shit, like. It's just a act of balance, bro. You know the bandwidth, you know, in my spiritual holding. What can I spiritually hold? Is this shit aligning with me? Do I feel right doing this? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If I can't, if none of them shits check off, I'm probably not gonna be fucking with you. Word. Genuinely. Word.
Okay. So let's shift gears a little bit. Let's talk about the future, right? So I know you got a lot of pots on the stove. You got From the Soul 2 getting ready to drop.
Right.
You just came off tour.
Right.
You got another show with Zero.
Right.
You got the pre-roll. You got the smokeouts. All of the above, right?
Right.
So with all of that said, you got all this motion, right? But long term, what does it look like 5 years from now? What is J Soulja looking at 10 years from now? What is J Soulja looking at? Talk about that a little bit.
Man, it's crazy, bro. Cause it's like I was literally just like piecing together a record about what's next. Okay. Cause what's next is, I don't mean to sound like a tinfoil hat nigga, like conspiracy. It's like what's next, bro. My nigga, like
what they do.
I can't tell you what's next.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's just like this world is, everything is changing. Like the landscape of the music industry is changing. You know, we're talking about executives being laid off. We're talking about labels being bought out and being closed down. We're talking about our landscape of how we even value the commodity of music itself. Like, what is the price of the product now? Like, you know, we've had streaming services partnered with the labels now beefing with each other. Like, so it's like where you've dished out so much money to assist artists in the streaming space, you realized how much that has diluted the product and made it so accessible, so anybody can have it, that you don't even have a true music goer anymore. It's so hard, you know. That's why it's even like, even being comfortable with a nigga, like, hey man, if you like 6 of my records, like I want you to like the whole thing genuinely, because it's a whole thing. You know what I mean? But it's like I have to damn near be content with a nigga fucking with 6 songs because of where the landscape of this shit is at. So it's like me saying what's next, I can't really give you the forecast of that. However, you know, the things that I could control, and as far as what's next, I am not gonna reveal to these niggas. You niggas are gonna have to just see. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just have to fucking see what's next, nigga. I'm not finna tell you niggas shit. Y'all finna just see this shit. You know what I mean? But you know, how the world is going to totally determine what I do. You know what I mean? Because the things that I can maintain, you know, my moral compass, my love, my passion, those are things that I'm going into whatever's next with. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, you know, whatever's built with the momentum of the landscape. Because I'm a builder, bro. You know what I mean? Like I can build, I can take anything and go anywhere with this shit, is what I feel like. So it's like, you know, hey, once we figure out what the foundation, this is where we at right now, I'm finna build my own house on it. I just gotta figure out what this shit is finna be looking like. It's just up in the air in the industry. It's up in the air, bro.
Yeah, there we go. So what about for that Austin artist that's coming into the scene, stepping on stepping into Austin, like I know I'm an artist. I know I got something.
Right.
I just don't know how to break into the scene.
Yeah.
What advice would you give them aside from connecting with J Soulja?
Having good products. People will book you if your shit is good.
Period. Yeah.
Niggas complain about not getting shows. Niggas complain about not doing this, not getting that, not having this. Respectfully, I have never really faced a lot of the shit that artists have complained about because my shit was good. Respectfully, bro, I'm gonna just keep it real. There is certain things that when you're the answer and you bring what you bring to the table and you chosen by God, nigga, nothing can really fade you. Like y'all with this shit, with this podcast, this shit was gonna go regardless. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, no matter what can be an obstacle towards you, my nigga, like, it gotta be great first. Right. You know, it has to be that. Right. So I think when artists start understanding what kind of product they have and giving themselves, you know, work on applying 10,000 hours somewhere, finding, and when I say somewhere, it's like, I don't mean you gotta be like in the studio 10,000 hours. I mean, like, have this shit on your mind 10,000 hours. Start there. Yeah. Are you thinking about this shit every day?
Yeah.
If you're thinking about it every day, you'll start finding ways to apply it every day. Right. You know, because if it's on your mind, like with me, I might have not been able to get in the studio. I might not have had the money. That's the thing. Like, a lot of artists, they be like, well, I ain't got the money to do this. And it's like, bro, if you're thinking about it every day and you're creative, you will find a way. Like, you'll find a way. My nigga, some of the greatest things that I've built, like the Smoke Out, like, I'm doing this shit with no capital, bro. I work driving trucks, bro. You feel me? Yeah. Like, I'm genuinely like a regular guy, bro. Yeah. But I'm making it happen because I ain't using no excuses. I'm standing on my product, and I'm cognizant enough of what the landscape is to know what are people digesting. Because we got to know that this is, like, people say comparison is the thief of joy, and I respect that. But if we're doing business and I'm not paying attention to what the landscape is, then I lose, you know, I start to lose. Yeah. I start to not have a grasp on the climate of where this shit is going. And I got to know that. I got to know where this shit is going. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's going this way, I might want to go that way. But if I don't know, I don't know. And I think a lot of artists just are okay with not knowing. I think that they just are, and if they're not okay with not knowing, they're putting their focal point in things that are the easiest routes out that doesn't involve finding the information. It involves you copying and pasting and just, nah, bro. Like, if you're an artist and you fresh into the city of Austin, my nigga, stand on your product, put your 10,000 hours into your shit, come out and actually perform it. Get out here, learn how to perform, be an entertainer, put 10,000 hours into entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Put hours into this shit, you know what I mean? Because that's how you sell your music. You feel me? You think about artists like Gary Clark Jr. that come from Austin. You think about some of the big rock and roll names that came from Austin. You know how they were discovered? More than likely, might have not known it, but I guarantee you that they were found playing their instrument, performing. Yeah. And it sold. Right. And they were like, who the fuck was that? Right. Right. Bring him back. Yeah. He's amazing. Right. Like, that's how you make money in this industry. Yeah. And a lot of these rappers don't know how to make money because they don't know how to sell. They feel like, I got to do the content thing. That's a compromise in your integrity. You know, if you don't feel like you do content, well, how do you combat that? nigga, be a great performer. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to sell your product. Be an advocate for your product in a different way, you know? We got to be our own cheerleaders in this shit. We got to champion ourselves in this shit, man. That's something that I never really did a lot for myself because I was so used to just champion everybody around me. I didn't have nobody champion me. That's why I loved my nigga Maul, you know, DJ Napalm. I love them niggas because them niggas championed me. Them the first niggas that was like, hey, man, fuck all the J Soulja. I'm willing to put my reputation on the line behind that nigga. That is, you feel me? So it's like those are the things you want. Like when you coming into this shit, bro, you gotta, you know, how that. It's good to have a chip on your shoulder, but you know, just be flexible in the landscape. You know what you're getting into out here. Know what this shit is like. Know what people want to hear. You know, don't be so caught up in your own fucking world that you not being open to how you can get it out here.
Sounds like looking at the gift horse in the face and knowing what you're looking at, right? Not realizing like, okay, not being swayed by just the flashy shit,
right?
But truly looking at the perspective and saying, oh man, looking at the broader picture and the perspective of what Austin has to offer, what you can give to Austin.
Facts.
As well.
100%.
So yeah, man. I mean, I think another thing that like is trickling on my head is just the legacy behind that. How do you want to leave, or what do you want to leave your legacy when it comes to Austin hip hop and music?
I want to be recognized and understood as somebody who loved God, somebody who loved their people, and have a reputation in a foundation of being one of the greatest creators to come out of this area, and not just a music artist. Like he's a creator. You know, he creates things, he makes things come to life. You know, so I think I want to have a legacy of that. I want to have, you know, a legacy of, you know, just being a good nigga too. You know, that matters. You know, it's like, you know, shit. Like I say, man, God forbid something happen to me, bro. Like my people I want my people to be able to walk this earth, and a motherfucker want to just probably do something for them off the strength of me. Right. You know what I'm saying? Just like, man, that nigga, he didn't, you don't know, your pops, that nigga looked out for me. You know what I'm saying? All that, hey man, that nigga, love. He a good nigga. Yeah, right. You feel me? Like, that shit that when I grew up, niggas would say that about my dad. Right. You feel me? Like, man, your pops, man, that nigga, he a good nigga, man.
Because
like,
of that, I gotta
right, that matter to me. That's, you know, that matters. You feel me? I don't want to be no nigga that's like so. It's weird, bro. Like, you see so much death in this industry with this rap shit, bro, with the ops and all of that lame shit. Like, you know, like, I got family in the streets. You know what I'm saying? I got people from the streets, bro. You know, I thank the good Lord, bro. I made my own path with this shit, but you know, I don't want to be no nigga, you know, caught up in no bullshit, bro. Like, you know, like, right. Cool, like what? You know what I'm saying? I want to definitely be able to, you know, be somebody who respected out here, you know, and not for the wrong reasons. Respected for the right shit. Like, man, his moral, he ain't never crossed me. He ain't never did no whole shit. He stand on the business, and, you know, I'm good with that.
There we go.
That's so real.
Genuinely.
There we go. All right, man. So shifting gears, right? We're going to go ahead and switch over to the this or that segment. We're going to hit you with some rapid fire this or that questions. So we hit you with that. You also got to elaborate on why you gave us the answer that you gave.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Let's do it. Right. Studio sessions or live performance?
Live performance. I got to go with the live performance because it's an energy exchange. Yeah. It's my favorite shit, bro. Like, I want to see how you feeling about this shit right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
said no,
right yeah. But you know, nothing against the studio, but you get way more energy exchange in that setting.
There we go. Okay, touring with legends or headlining your own show?
Probably headlining my own shit.
Okay.
You know, it's touring with legends is dope because it's always an experience. But like the very few times that I've got to be like, hey, I'm the headliner, you know what I mean? It was an incredible feeling to see who's willing to just stick around, who's willing to see you, who paid for a ticket to come see you. You know, that's always cool to see for sure, for sure. Granted, if it's, 100 niggas, like you be like, yeah, this my 100. You know what I mean? You get to see that.
Me.
Facts,
Sure.
100%, 100%.
This is gonna be an interesting one because I know of the major, what we were talking about earlier, independent grind or major deal.
That's crazy. Now, I'm gonna have to say independent. I was at once aspiring for a record deal, and I think I was aspiring for a record deal because I always longed as a young guy to be a part of something. You know what I mean? Like that was something that I always like. I was a guy that was a young nigga rapping, that everybody was like, man, that's a young nigga, we bring him on over here, they never go how I want to go. So it's like, man, maybe I want to sign to a label. Man, I want to get with TDE. I want to get with, you chase after these things, and then you start being great on your own, and you start bumping shoulders with some of these people, and you start realizing the allure that you might have had around what some of these situations might have came with, really ain't shit. You feel me? Like you in the room too, nigga. You feel me? Like they in the room with me, just like I'm in the room with them. So it's like, independent is a lot more valued, especially just like you go down the line, man. We hear all of our greats talk about what kind of things that you reap from being an independent in today's game, for sure.
That's what's up. Let's go. Collaborating with Austin artists and national artists.
Austin artists, for sure. Collaborations and features, man, is that shit is like a vibe. I got a vibe with you, like artists that's like, all right, like if I gotta pay you for the feature, a lot of times out of 10, like we ain't really having that camaraderie that we supposed to have. This is more of a business exchange,
transaction.
So I don't really get to like, you ain't really knowing how I'm coming or knowing how you. We ain't finna get in the studio and joke. We ain't finna
get that in there.
Yeah, nah, it ain't none of that shit. It's like, hey man, let's do this. Get this done. You want some money grab? Cool. You know what I mean? So that's definitely, working with the homies, people who I done came up with. My boys like, shout out to my nigga Eric the Chosen, my boy Kush, fucking Young Bryce, you know what I'm saying, Y2, Cat, all of these people, man, these are people like, them the homies, you know what I'm saying? And I gotta give a huge shout out to Mask too. Mask, my boy Mask been working and been servicing my music for over damn near 10 years, you know what I'm saying? So Mask is the owner of Elevate Studios, so I gotta give a big shout out to Mask. So even just working with Mask too, them the guys, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have it no other way.
That's what's up. Performance-wise, ACL or South by?
ACL.
Really?
No fucking question.
Quick answer.
Yeah,
No
right.
question. It ain't even, that shit ain't even close, my brother.
Really?
Yeah.
Dog. ACL was the livest shit ever, bro. Like that shit was an unreal thing, man. And even all of the bullshit that I dealt with the day of that shit, bro, like that shit it's different, bro. You know what I'm saying? South by, man, people gotta submit. Like ACL, niggas, them niggas gotta choose you.
They choose you.
Yeah. Like you gotta be one of them ones, So and say South by, nigga, you ain't getting no chili. You know what I'm saying? ACL give you that chili. You feel me? They gave me some chili and the fucking I got a trailer. Exactly.
Right.
All that. It was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So and just having that opportunity, you know what I mean, was a major look, nigga. Like, they carted us around the whole time. My feet ain't never touched the floor at that bitch. I hopped off stage and got him a back massage. Like, what? Like, ACL, brother. 100% ACL for sure.
That's
different.
Okay, next one. We got late night studio session or early morning studio session? Early
morning. I feel like I think better in the morning. Like when I got the top of my day going, like that's when I'm already early morning type of person anyway. So if I can get in the studio with some sunlight, you know what I'm saying? I don't even like having a dark studio session. Like I know homies that like to have that bitch dark as fuck. You know, neon lights and all that other shit. Nigga, I don't need none of that shit. Nigga, I want to cut some lights on this bitch and look around, nigga, and see face. Nigga. Yeah, on God, bro. Like cut some lights on in this bitch, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely a daytime session. You just get the brain going. I'll be drinking coffee, so I'm into nigga. I drink coffee, get a little joint going. Nigga, get the rhymes going crazy. So hell yeah, that shit that's the one.
That's what's up. I think I know the answer to this one, but we're gonna still ask. Switch your sweets or cigars?
Swishers, my boy. I still smoke swishers, man. Niggas be hating, you know, they be trying to do the backwood, but I fuck with, like, I ain't gonna lie, like, I fuck with backwoods. Like, if niggas can roll backwoods, salute. I can't roll them bitches. You feel me? But I just feel like it's just such a cap. Like, y'all niggas is really smoking an eighth of weed, nigga, in one blunt. It's
crazy.
Like, I salute it. You feel me? But
it don't take.
You
it
lose
take
all your doty, nigga. You feel me? If
take
you a
it.
bargain hunter like me, nigga, hey, this weed gotta last me for the week, nigga. You feel me, nigga? I'm getting weed for the week, nigga. We finna have this weed, nigga. I'm finna get some of these Swisher Minis.
Make it stretch.
And we finna roll him up. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, nigga, I'm going Swisher Sweets, nigga. Fuck it.
Bop, bop.
You know what I mean? Straight like that, nigga. You know, goddamn, eighth in a blunt? What?
That's gonna last, my boy.
How high are you trying to be, man? I'm trying to be high too, but goddamn. No, I can't hate. Like, I like when the nigga pass me a backwood, I'm hitting that motherfucker. That bitch. It's gonna be smooth every time. Right. It's gonna be smoother than a Swisher to me sometimes, bro. But I fuck with them Swisher sweets, man. Can't lose.
Okay. Let's go. Collaborating with an artist or collaborating with a producer?
Producer, 100% producer, man. It's such a cool thing, like working with producers that find the sound for you. Okay. Like, hey man, I found like Young Swisher, man. Young Swisher probably produced, man, damn near 5 to 6 records on this album. And Swisher is a producer, man. A lot of people never seen his face, but he's lived out here in Austin. He's from overseas, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to give you a name of where he's from overseas, because I can't even think of what it is. But my guy Swisher is just like, he one of them niggas that make beats, bro, and words instantly come. Like I love those kind of beats. Like that's how I'm able to write. Like some records I'm like 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like the words are just there, you know. And Swisher taps into that a lot, man. And you know, it's an honor being able to work with that, with a producer like him. You know, especially like with Stilo. Stilo got a lot of them vibes. He actually Stilo Foreign produced Flavor. You know what I'm saying? And you know, Stilo and I just having them vibes, bro. Like it's cool getting with a producer who just find a sound and y'all know, like, hey, I'm finna make some of my best music with these niggas. You know what I mean? So yeah, having a producer 100,000%. That's
gotcha.
I'm gonna ask this one.
It's gonna be a tough one.
This is gonna be a tough one.
I know it.
Conway the Machine or GZA?
I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna probably respectfully gotta go Conway, just because I'm not mad. Yeah. I feel like Conway. When it came down to the Wu, I wasn't a fan of the entire collective of the Wu. Not to say that I wasn't a fan of the GZA, but I listened to more Conway. Yeah, you feel me? So it's like, but my favorite rapper in Wu-Tang was Method Man. Like, no question.
Right. So then here we go.
Okay.
Since he gave you a shout out.
Okay.
Deck or Meth?
Ooh, I gotta go Method Man.
He said, "Come on, bro."
That's a tough one, bro. But if I gotta pick, bro, like, bro, Method, bro, like he rappers that are great at enunciation, rappers that are charismatic, that have a vocal tone that's identifiable, like. That nigga Method, like, checks so many of the boxes, bro, for me as an MC, dog. Like, it's like, he's literally, like, one of the top MCs to me, for sure. Like, he's up there, bro. Like, if we talk about just the skill of rapping.
Right.
He's
using your voice as an instrument,
100%.
Actually changing
up there
and all that. Yeah.
He's up there, bro. them guys is insane. Like the records that, yeah, bro, insane.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, man. So we got the question of the night, right?
Okay.
And this is one we hit every guest that comes on the show.
Yeah.
We hit them with the same question, right? So you got a chance to chop it up with the 2-hour lunch break. I know, we've been in contact for years.
Yeah.
Right.
At this point, you know what the vibes are, you know what the conversation is like, and everything like that, right? So
Yeah.
with that said, who do you think would be a good guest for the show? But before you answer, it has to be somebody in your contacts, in your phone. Be like, hey, I pulled up on the 2-hour lunch break, had a ball. You need to come up, holler at them boys. Who would that person or people be?
Y'all niggas gotta talk to Watu.
Watu.
Okay.
1000%.
Okay.
Y'all gotta talk to Watu, bro. You know,
Tap in.
He's a Austinite that is a part of so many people's legacy out here.
Yeah.
I'm talking about from being a producer, from being an artist to being an engineer. He's touched so much music out here in Austin. He's touched so much music around the world.
Yeah.
From his crib, from like guys wouldn't even fucking have a clue.
Yeah.
This guy's you just have to just pick his brain, man. He's literally a musical fucking genius, bro.
Gotcha.
Like I'm talking about, like it's not many niggas, bro, that I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
he's him.
Okay.
That's my nigga, bro, and it's a bro. Like I say once again, like it's a blessing to know, like anybody who I felt like was a great rapper, I didn't either got to rap with him or share the stage with him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Watu is like, bro, like nigga, if put it like this, if that nigga wasn't one of the homies like he is, bro, and we just talking about like, hey, who's top 5 rappers in the game? Watu would be up there in my top 5 rappers.
Okay.
Like with Kendrick.
That's
with
what's up.
Oh, wow.
Nigga, yeah.
That's
like
what's up.
Okay.
drop dead serious. Nigga,
Yeah.
he's
Crazy.
GOAT status. He's
gotcha.
like that. He's like that, bro. Watu.
Watu.
Talk to him.
Tap in with us, bro.
Yeah. I'm gonna hit my
in.
boy Watu up, man.
yeah,
I'm gonna
man.
see what he on.
Let's do
If he open to doing something like that, man, because he a hermit crab nigga. You feel me?
Hey,
Like that
yeah,
nigga just
awesome
don't.
cats.
It's
all good.
He be out the way, man. But
gotcha.
definitely, you know, Watu. And I think another good person to talk to is Mask from Elevate Studios.
That's what's up.
Mask from Elevate Studios,
love
man. Mask, another person, bro, who will just as a character, like his character, like a nigga who will give you literally the shirt off his back, like a nick, like this isn't even, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like Mask is just overall just a stand-up guy, man. Somebody you should 100% holler at. And you know, he serviced the city, bro. These are people who service the city. And if I can give you one more,
Yeah.
Jamal, Ill Manor Shows.
Hey, we overdue, man. We
Listen,
overdue for that,
Maul.
bro.
Listen,
Matter of fact.
We overdue for more.
I don't think guys understand Maul. That's my brother.
Yeah.
Love him to death, nigga. Jamal is like, when it comes to that bag of the game, he's one of them ones, bro.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he's great at what he does. Like he's somebody who, Maul is just such a universal guy, you know, having his parents, his father being in the military, you know what I'm saying, like being raised in Germany, then going to LA, then being in Philly, then being here in Texas, graduating from fucking Houston Tillotson, like Maul is like such a well-versed and universal guy. Like when it comes down to the business and the game, he just has the energy that brings people to want to talk to you about what, hey, like he's the guy that you feel safe with. Like, hey, tell me something about what's going on. And he's just a great communicator, bro. And I think that y'all will have a wonderful interview with just learning about his story and how he got to the point where he's calling the shots for hip hop at Antone's and really even more things that's coming down the pipeline.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Definitely
shout
gotta
out to
tap
the guys.
in. Definitely got
Yeah,
to.
let's lock that in for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plug your social media handle so everybody know where to find you, bro.
Yeah, man. Shout out to my homegirl Kaya. Officially got my website up and running. So you
Shout out.
www.jsoulja.com. So I'm gonna plug that first. But you can follow me on Instagram at official J Soulja. I deleted Twitter, so I no longer have a Twitter account. But at official J Soulja on Instagram, jsoulja.com. You know, currently operating on those two interfaces the most. I'm on Facebook too, but that's more so for the fam and shit. But you know,
already know.
Instagram,
I know how it go.
you can find everything on Instagram. I upload reels, anything documented for that shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instagram is my interface where I'm the most active and doing the most work. So at official J Soulja, you can find me just about anywhere.
That's what's up. And that wraps up another edition of the 2 Hour Lunch Break podcast. Once again, want to give a special shout out to
Love
the
to y'all
homie,
boys,
to
man.
the brother J Soulja for pulling up and kicking it with us tonight. Shout out to production behind the boards, Cafe Yodo. Yeah. And shout out to Six Square ATX, serving Austin's community for Black Culture District. You can find them on Instagram at Six Square ATX. Episodes of the 2 Hour Lunch Break podcast are streaming on all digital platforms. You can find us on IG at 2HLB Pod and on X at the 2 Hour Lunch. We'll check y'all next time. We out.
Peace.
And it's coming home to Texas. It's coming home all the way to Austin, Texas, baby.